Hi there, I'm Linda from the successstrategy.com. I've been an online entrepreneur for over 15 years, earning six figures full time working from home alongside my husband, Chris, who you'll probably hear from in some of our upcoming videos if you decide to stick with us. This is the first video that we're making, and in this video, we are going to be sharing how we're driving huge traffic to our sites right now. It's a method that I think is kind of flying below the radar for a lot of internet marketers and online advertisers and site owners who want, good quality converting traffic to their site. It's something that I started doing about 3 months ago, and it's just been really, really successful for me. I was a little hesitant to try it, a little bit skeptical, and it's actually been really, really working well to send good quality converting traffic to my site. So I'm going to tell you all about that in this video. But before I do that, I thought I'll just take a little tiny minute, tell you just a little bit about myself and Chris. Because I know that when I tune into people for advice on business and online marketing and that sort of thing, success in general, I like to know a little bit about who they are. I oftentimes find their stories kind of inspiring, and so I'll just share a tiny little bit of that information with you, since this, like I said, is the first video that we're doing, but there are more to come. And I'm hoping that we'll be seeing more of you. So like I said, we've been earning six figures online for about 15 years now, working from home. We both always sort of aspired to work from home and have our own business. And so it's kind of been a bit of a dream come true for us. And it's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of ups and a lot of downs. The internet marketing world is an interesting place because it does change and evolve really kind of rapidly, actually. I once heard somebody say that for every 1 year online, when you consider the rapid rate at which things change, it's kind of like the equivalent of 10 years offline. And I think that is so true. So the things that we are doing today are not at all the same things that we were doing when we got started 15 years ago. We've really had to evolve and keep up with the changes in order to stay relevant in the online world today. So first of all, I just want to get that out of the way. If you're thinking to yourself, if you're just sort of starting out in online business or internet marketing, or if you're kind of like at an intermediary level and you're thinking to yourself, well, sure, you guys have been doing this for 15 years. You're making six figures. Sure you are, because you've been at this forever. Trust me, we've had to sort of start from scratch and reinvent ourselves a number of times, as I think most internet marketers do, in order to stay relevant in with what's happening right now. And so that's part of why we decided we would put together the success strategy and start producing some of these videos and sharing some of our strategies, because things do change very, very rapidly online, and we can kind of help keep you up to date with what's working for us right now. Because if it works for us, chances are very good, if you do like we do, it's going to work for you too. So in our upcoming videos, we're going to, tell you a little bit more about our own personal story, how just a couple of schmucks like us wound up making six figures working from home. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about how just, ordinary people like yourself and like ourselves, build a six-figure business from the ground up working online from home, we invite you to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click the little red subscribe button below this video. And and would love to have you sort of follow along in the story of our crazy adventures, as well as stay up to date on, the current strategies that are working for us right now. Would be really happy to share those with you. So if you subscribe, you can kind of stay on top of all of that and not miss a beat of what we are doing. And you can also become part of our inner circle. It's completely free. And in our inner circle, we share more of our internet marketing insiders strategies that we don't actually, publish anywhere publicly outside of our inner circle. And it's no big deal to join. Just go to thesuccessstrategy.com. You'll find an opt-in there for the inner circle. And, it kind of keeps you up to date on the things that we're doing. And it's kind of where we keep the real gold. We always hold a little bit of something back for members of our inner circle. Completely free. And the other thing about it is we're really approachable, and we welcome you to get to know us. And if you're a member of our inner circle, you're always welcome to email us with your questions or challenges that you're facing right now with your online business or internet marketing, and we'd really love to try to help you out. If we can point you in the right direction or give you a little bit of advice based on our own personal experiences, we're always happy to do that. So this could be a good resource for you. So if you think that sounds something that would be of value to you, just head on over to thesuccessstrategy.com and you'll see there how to opt into our inner circle. It's all completely free, but we do kind of think we want to keep it a pretty small sized group. So I'm not sure how long we'll keep that open, because again, if people are sort of emailing us and bringing their challenges to us and we're offering our help for free, there's a limit to how many people we're going to effectively be able to help. So we may have to cap that group. So head on over and subscribe to that now if you think that would benefit you. So in this video, I am going to be sharing my top strategy for driving traffic right now. This is what is working for me best right now in mid-December 2016, and I predict this is going to continue to be a huge part of my traffic strategy throughout 2017, because it's just it's working well. It is a traffic method that I only started using about 3 months ago. Prior to that, I knew the method was out there, but it was just really flying beneath my radar. I was just ignoring it. And, from what I have come to understand, it is the same situation for probably 90% of internet marketers, online business owners, online advertisers out there. They are just completely ignoring this method, and it's going right below their radar. Well, what happens when you get a situation like that? It spells opportunity for those who actually cue into it, right? And fortunately, I queued into it, and it's been driving great traffic, targeted traffic, buying traffic, great conversions, and it's obviously making me some good money. Now, it's no stroke of genius what I'm going to tell you, but again, it's something that 90% of internet marketers and online businesses are overlooking. If you are a fairly savvy and advanced internet marketer, you're probably already doing this. I'll tell you that right now. But so, what I'm going to share with you here is really going to be of value if you're sort of more of a beginner or an intermediate level internet marketer. Then this one might be flying below your radar. In fact, I know that there are even very big advertisers who are just not doing this because they're just like, they're not thinking about this at all. So everyone wants free traffic to their website, their offer, their online store, or whatever, right? I want that. You want that. We all want that. But the reality these days is that when it comes to web traffic, free is not really free. Now, most free traffic methods take an enormous amount of time and a lot of effort, and that's if you can even get a flow of consistent free traffic at all. And that is a big if. Because of the vast amount of time and energy and effort you need to put in to get it, free traffic is actually far from free. And it's definitely not reliable or something that you can depend on long term either. If you've been doing business online for any amount of time, I think, you're going to agree it's much, much harder to generate a reliable, consistent method of free traffic than it used to be. I mean, everybody experienced with free traffic generation is probably going to tell you that. If you're familiar with Neil Patel, he's a really well-known marketing expert. He ran a 12-month experiment last year where he built a new blog from scratch to show how it could be done, to show how anybody could come in with a new blog right there and then and generate traffic to it. And his premise was he was going to prove that anyone could create a blog that was generating $100,000 in monthly revenue within a year. Now he started that project. It'll be 2 years ago, next April, this coming April. By the time he ended that experiment, and that was this past April because he ran the experiment for a year, his conclusion was that it is much, 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 much harder to generate free traffic now than it would have been just 2 or 3 years earlier. And ultimately, he concluded that the circumstances in terms of generating traffic have changed so dramatically that it wasn't even worth him pursuing the project any further due to all the major challenges that he was facing now in bringing in free traffic. And this is coming from a very well-known, highly acclaimed, highly accomplished internet marketing expert. I remember Neil saying that the very, very methods that he was using to generate free traffic to that blog just 2 or 3 years ago would have absolutely have him hit his goal of being able to produce $100,000 a month in revenue out of that blog. I mean, he would have absolutely been able to generate sufficient free traffic to do that. And I think no one was more surprised than Neil himself when he realized things had changed so drastically. He just was not able to do that now. So I think that really, really says it all about where where things kind of have settled out these days in terms of being able to generate free traffic reliably. So the bottom line, my friends, is in 2017, if you are serious about bringing traffic to your website, your blog, your offer, your e-commerce store, your coaching program, your course, whatever it is that you have, your CPA offers, the bottom line is that you have to pay to play. I know we don't like it. I don't like it. You don't like it. But it's the way it is now. We kind of have to accept it and kind of hop on that train, or we're going to be left behind. Because this is only going to continue into the future. But let me just say real quick, it doesn't have to cost as much as you might think. And we'll pause that thought for a moment, and then I'll continue with what I was saying. It's only going to continue into the future. It's not going to get any better. Just think about Facebook, for example. It used to be that you could get free traffic all day long organically from Facebook. And then slowly, as people became more and more dependent on all that wonderful Facebook traffic, all that free traffic, Facebook slowly started becoming more and more of a pay-to-play platform. Lots of P's there, my goodness. And so, more and more now to reach your targeted audience on Facebook, you've got to pay to get your message in front of them. So that's kind of the writing on the wall right there. So always remember when you're thinking about this, and when you're thinking about how much you don't want to pay for traffic, your time has a value. You can turn your time into something that can really grow your business and expand your revenue if you spend your time wisely. Just in the same way you have to spend your money wisely to make money, you have to spend your time wisely to make money. So your time has value, and every hour you spend working on banging your head against a wall trying to get free traffic, and I'm sure you'll get a bit of a dribble of free traffic if you really work hard at it, but you could be working on other things that have the potential to really grow your business and expand your revenue and move things, dramatically forward. I have come to learn the hard way that not only is it time consuming to try to generate free traffic these days, but in many cases the free traffic just doesn't really even convert that well these days, depending of course on the particular offer that you have. But whereas I used to find free traffic used to convert really, really well on my website, now not so much. And I find that that's because the quality of the free traffic coming in just isn't the same as what it used to be. And of course, when we're talking about free traffic, we're usually talking about search engine traffic. And I used to find that I used to get really, really well targeted search engine traffic to my site. And now I find that Google is, they're a little bit confused about what they're doing. And I know a lot of other website owners, bloggers, internet marketers have said the same thing. Google's starting to send some really, really wonky traffic. And of course, if the traffic isn't well targeted, it's not going to convert. Now, if you buy the right kind of traffic from the right kind of sources, you can completely control that. This is something you cannot control if you're relying on SEO, but buy the right kind of traffic from the right sources. Now you can completely control who is coming to your website, and you make sure that you're bringing in buying traffic or converting traffic if you're not actually looking for a buyer, but you're looking for some other kind of conversion. So if you've been scared of buying traffic, and I know I was for a long, long time, or if you think, so I completely understand, or if you think it's just too costly, you really do need to change the way you're thinking about this and realize that this is the direction things are moving in online. So again, it's like I said before, jump on the train or get left behind. Now, there are still a few good ways to generate some free traffic. Don't get me wrong, there are. And we'll be talking about some of those methods that we're currently using, and they are working for us in some of our upcoming videos in the near future. So be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to kind of get in on those strategies, or definitely opt into our inner circle on our website, thesuccessstrategy.com, and we'll let you in on those strategies that we are still getting some success with in generating good free traffic. But we have come to the conclusion that based on all of our experiences and the things that we're constantly doing right now, we've come to the conclusion that free traffic really has to be used this day as simply a supplemental type of traffic. You can get free traffic and use it in conjunction with a good cost-effective paid traffic strategy. But a paid traffic strategy should really be kind of, central to what you're doing to bring in traffic. And, there's several reasons for that, but I think, the most important one is that you should never, ever, ever forget that you are always at every moment at risk of losing absolutely everything if you are relying on free traffic, to build your online business or to sell your products, especially if you're thinking in terms of search engine rankings or even organic Facebook traffic. Unfortunately, and I really hate to say this because I really wish it wasn't true, but it is. Free traffic is not a viable way to build a business. Trust me, I'm speaking from personal experience. I could tell you a story that would make your blood curl about a booming online business built on free traffic, and then one day, kerpoof, it was literally decimated overnight because suddenly the tap to the free traffic got turned off. And you may be thinking, oh, sure, well, then it was a crappy site and it had crappy content and it was duplicate content and it was not original and it didn't deliver value. Wrong, 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 wrong. Trust me, high value sites that deliver high value, unique, original content that visitors love, they disappear overnight sometimes from the search engines, and then their businesses are completely gone. So just please, if you're serious about online marketing and building an internet business, get it right now. It's not going to be done just based on free traffic. Most free traffic methods are based on SEO rankings and the search engines. And if a search algorithm is changed, sometimes even just slightly, your rankings and your traffic will vanish overnight. And it sounds extreme, I know, but it happens often. It happens all the time. You'd be surprised who it happens to. It's happened to some very reputable quality sites, including Motor Trend magazine, for example. They experienced this very thing during the Big Panda update in 2011. Motor Trend magazine took a huge hit to their traffic. Panda got them. Panda was basically saying, you're a poor quality site, you have thin content, etc., etc. I mean, that's what Panda was all about, right? And they tanked their rankings. You know, spokespeople from Google came forward and said, if you don't want to be hurt by Panda updates, then just make sure you publish magazine quality traffic. Well, heck, Motor Trend magazine, it doesn't get more magazine quality than that, does it? They are a big magazine published by a big publisher. I mean, it's magazine quality content, but Panda took them down. Now, that was in 2011. I'm sure that Motor Trend, with all the resources that they have behind them, have managed to build themselves back up again. But, you know, for a lot of smaller online entrepreneurs, you may not have, well, I doubt that you'd have those types of resources if you are a small online entrepreneur, and that can even mean making six figures. But you know, you're probably not going to have the kind of resources Motor Trend magazine had to build the rankings back up after they got turfed. So again, do not put all your eggs in the free traffic basket. That is the point here. So if you're looking for a steady stream of traffic and you want to build a viable long-term business, the answer is very simple. It is paid traffic. But all paid traffic is not created equal. And there are ways of getting some paid traffic that is more cost effective than other paid traffic. So keep listening. We're getting there. I just want to make sure that you're sold on the idea of paid traffic, because it is fast, it converts, and you can get it happening within hours. Not days, not weeks, not months. We're talking instant traffic. You can set up a paid traffic campaign this afternoon and you can have 12 visitors on your site, and, you know, throughout the whole day. And by this time tomorrow, you could have, you know, 120 visitors on your site, 500 visitors on your site, buying and converting visitors. So that is the great advantage of paid traffic, but paid traffic can be tricky because it can cost you a lot if you don't know what you're doing. And there is usually some pretty tough competition for good quality targeted traffic. And that's where the cost really comes in, because the more people who are in there bidding on those keywords, trying to get that exposure through paid traffic, you know, the higher the prices for the traffic go to. Most people flock to Google to run their PPC campaigns. And 90% of internet marketers are completely overlooking and ignoring a really, really powerful paid traffic method. It's just sort of flying below the radar for a lot of internet marketers. Now, if you're a super savvy internet marketer, if you're highly successful, you probably already know what I'm going to be talking about. But if you are sort of more, entry level beginner internet marketer, or even at an intermediary level, then this may be flying below your radar as well, just as it is for so many other online businesses, online advertisers, and marketers. Believe it or not, what I'm talking about is Bing ads. You know Bing, they're that other search engine. Now, because there's far less competition on Bing ads, you'll often get a much lower cost per click and better placement over at Bing. But you may be thinking Bing has no traffic. Well, Bing may not have the search volume that Google has. But let's put things in perspective. Bing actually has 20% of the overall search market share. So in fact, there's plenty of search traffic going on at Bing. Keep in mind that Yahoo search is powered by Bing, and Yahoo accounts for yet another 10% of the overall search market, which you can access through Bing. So that means you can tap into 30% of all searches happening online when you focus on Bing ads. So now, have I got your attention? That really kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? But here's something else you need to know. Bing is integrated with Windows 10, the latest and final version of Windows. So with Bing being automatically installed on most personal computers being purchased today, it's going to just continually be gaining users. But wait, there's more. All of this combined means you can start running Bing ads right now. You'll pay less for clicks, and you'll get more targeted traffic and conversions to your website, your offers, your e-commerce store, etc. And no, I do not work for Bing. I know it must sound like I work for Bing, and that I absolutely do not, nor do I get any kind of affiliate commission or reward for singing the benefits of Bing ads. I'm just really excited by the traffic and conversions I've been getting from Bing, and I think others should know about the opportunity there as well. Because like I said, 90% of advertisers, internet marketers, they're completely overlooking Bing. It's flying right below their radar. Everyone's flocking off to Google, and meanwhile, there's some really, really good value to be had in traffic that is bought from Bing. But it's really important to keep in mind that Bing ads are not the same as Google AdWords. The platforms do actually look very, very similar. When you log into Bing ads, you're going to feel like you know your way around because it all kind of looks the same. Bing has clearly modeled their interface after Google AdWords, and it is a very user-friendly platform. But there are differences between playing with Bing ads and playing with Google AdWords, and you need to pay close attention to the little details. So don't just run in right now and start running Bing ads without first doing some homework. Take some time and do a little research, understand what the differences are and what it takes to really, run a successful campaign in Bing. That's what you should be really looking into. It's really going to be worth it for you to put in the effort, get to know your way around Bing ads before you start spending money on the ads. When you know exactly what you're doing with Bing, you can start raking in traffic and conversions very, very quickly. In many cases within hours of getting started. But if you think you're going to just go and apply everything you already know about Google PPC to Bing, or if you really don't know much about PPC at all, you could end up wasting a lot of money and a lot of time, because they are not the same. So it's really worth it to just go ahead, do a little research, and really learn your way around Bing ads before you start spending money. It's the truly internet savvy marketers who are wise to Bing ads, because most people are still stuck in thinking that Google rules and that nothing is going on over at Bing, but they're completely overlooking the fact that, like I said, Bing has quietly gained 30% of all search traffic, and they're going to continue gaining more. Bing is almost stealth-like in the way that they are capturing market share. And, if you quietly sneak in there and start driving traffic from Bing yourself while almost everyone else is focusing on Google, you're going to be a little bit stealthy in your marketing as well. The really interesting thing is that although 30% of all internet users are now searching on Bing, the percentage of marketers using Bing as an advertising platform is still much smaller. So it spells real opportunity. So, that's kind of what I have been doing in a nutshell, my number one traffic generation strategy over the last few months, and the one that I expect to continue with quite strongly over the next 12 months. And, I recommend that you give it a try as well. And then, as always, it's simply time to take action. Get out there and start running some Bing ads, start experimenting, and see exactly how they perform for you. And I would love to hear your comments and feedback on Bing ads. If you've already tried Bing ads, what has your experience been? Did you find that you could actually get, a much lower cost per click as compared to what you were paying at Google? If you haven't tried the Bing ads yet and you go off and give them a try, please come on back here and leave us a comment. Let us know what your experience was. If you have any tips and strategies for using Bing ads or any other paid marketing method for that matter, leave us a comment, and, overall, just, let us know how you enjoyed this video. It's our first one. If, you think you'd like to hear more of our strategies, let us know. Let us know the kinds of things that you need help with, and we'll see what we can put together for you to help you out in that way. And by all means, please click the red subscribe button under the video so that you are kept up to date when we, put out a few more videos with some of the other strategies that we'd like to share with you. We have a lot of exciting stuff to share over the next little while. And as I said, we're always happy to help out. If there's a particular issue that you're having trouble with right now with your online marketing, or in terms of building or expanding your online revenue, your online business, join our inner circle. Come get to know us. You'll have free access to us for any questions or challenges you might be facing. We're not charging for mentorship or mastermind programs or anything like that. We're just trying to help. I don't know how long we'll keep the inner circle open for, though, because if we are sort of giving a little bit of personalized assistance, it could get a little bit unmanageable if the numbers get too large. But for now, it's brand new, and you're welcome to come on in and opt into that at thesuccessstrategy.com. So we hope to see you again, and take care.